What if that strange itch on your arm or that unusual patch of dry skin on your back wasn't just aging or stress? What if it was something far more serious silently growing inside your body without a single word of warning? Every day, millions of Americans look in the mirror and see signs their skin is changing. Most shrug it off. They assume it's the weather, a new lotion, a rough night of sleep. But what they don't realize is that their skin is trying to scream for help. And it's not just about looks. It could be a signal from your kidneys that something is dangerously wrong. The skin is the largest organ in the body. It reacts quickly to changes in internal health. Yet most people overlook the most obvious signs because they seem harmless. That's where the danger begins. The kidneys are silent workers. They filter waste, balance fluids, regulate minerals. And when they start to fail, they don't send pain. They send quiet symptoms, subtle clues. And the skin is often the first place those clues appear. Right now, kidney disease is affecting over 37 million Americans. Many don't even know it. Why? Because the early warning signs hide in plain sight. And by the time the bigger symptoms show up, it may already be too late. That's why this video could literally save a life. In this video, viewers will discover 10 skin symptoms that most people ignore, but no one should. These are not just cosmetic issues. They're emergency lights on the dashboard of the human body. And understanding them now could mean catching kidney disease early, while it's still manageable, even reversible. So if someone has noticed even the smallest changes in their skin lately, they need to pay close attention, because what seems small today might be the first sign of something big tomorrow. And this might be their one chance to catch it in time. Sign 1, itchy skin that feels like it's burning from the inside. It usually starts in the quiet hours of the night, a subtle itch on your arms, a tingling on your back. You shift in bed, trying to ignore it, but the sensation spreads. You scratch, and scratch again. No rash, no bumps, just a maddening urge that refuses to stop. This is not dry skin. This is something deeper, something dangerous. When the kidneys begin to fail, they struggle to filter out toxins. These toxins start to build up in the blood and eventually escape through the skin. The result, intense itching known as uremic pruritus. It affects up to 90% of patients with advanced kidney disease. And unlike seasonal itchiness, this one has no mercy. It can strike at night, it can drive you to exhaustion, and worst of all, it leaves no obvious warning on the surface. The science behind it is shocking. Toxins like urea irritate nerve endings beneath the skin. Mineral imbalances like high phosphorus levels lead to deposits that further inflame the area, and even your nervous system begins to misfire as opioid receptors in your body become imbalanced. That's why regular antihistamines do almost nothing. This itch doesn't follow the usual rules. But here's the thing. You don't have to suffer in silence. Doctors now recommend phosphate binders, dialysis adjustment, and even specific creams made for uremic skin. Some patients also find relief through omega-3 supplements and phototherapy. The key is recognizing this itch for what it is, a red flag. But just knowing about itchy skin isn't enough, because what happens next on your skin might be even easier to ignore and far more dangerous. Sign 2, dry skin that cracks like desert ground. Most people blame it on the weather. Low humidity, not drinking enough water. But what if your dry skin, that flaky, tight, uncomfortable layer, was actually your kidneys crying out for help? When kidney function begins to decline, the skin changes in ways that are often misunderstood. One of the most common and most overlooked is extremely dry skin, medically known as xerosis. This isn't the kind of dryness a bottle of lotion can fix. This is deeper, more stubborn, and more dangerous. What's happening beneath the surface is startling. Healthy kidneys help regulate fluid balance and support the sweat and oil glands that keep your skin naturally moisturized. But when those kidneys are struggling, those glands shut down. Your skin loses its natural oils. It becomes brittle. It can crack open like desert soil. In severe cases, it forms thick, scaly patterns that look like fish scales, a condition called acquired ichthyosis. And it gets worse. Dry, broken skin becomes an open door to infection, especially in people with compromised immunity. In kidney patients, even a small crack can turn into a serious health threat. Bacteria can enter, wounds may not heal, and the risk of complications multiplies. But there is a path forward. Dialysis patients who focus on managing phosphorus levels, improving zinc and vitamin B intake, and using dermatologist-recommended creams like urea-based moisturizers often see real improvement. Humidifiers and fragrance-free skincare routines can also restore comfort and protection. Still, many ignore this warning sign until it becomes painful. And by then, it's often a sign the kidneys are already in significant trouble. But dry skin is just the beginning. Because what if the actual color of your skin was changing in a way that even your loved ones could notice, and no one realized what it really meant? Sign 3, skin color changes that speak louder than words. Sometimes the first person to notice is not you. It's a spouse, a friend, someone who hasn't seen you in a while. They say you look pale, or maybe your skin has taken on a dull, grayish, or even yellow tone. You shrug it off. You've been tired. Maybe it's just stress. But deep inside, your body is sounding the alarm. Because when your kidneys begin to fail, your skin starts to change color, and it's not just cosmetic, it's clinical. One of the first signs is pallor, a pale or washed out look, especially on the face and inner eyelids. This happens when your kidneys stop producing enough erythropoietin, a hormone that helps create red blood cells. The result is anemia. And it doesn't just make you tired, it literally drains the color from your skin. Then there's the yellow tint, not from the sun, not from jaundice. This comes from a buildup of waste products like urea and keratin that your kidneys can no longer filter out. These compounds slowly collect in your skin, giving it a dull, waxy, or yellowish hue that deepens over time. And then there's hyperpigmentation. Some patients with advanced kidney disease develop darker patches of skin, especially on the legs, arms, and face. These are caused by toxins that dialysis can't fully remove. They settle into the skin and disrupt normal pigmentation. It's one of the clearest signs that your blood is no longer being properly cleaned. But the good news is these color changes are reversible in early stages. Treating the underlying anemia with iron or erythropoietin injections, improving dialysis efficiency, and reducing toxin buildup can restore your skin's natural tone, but only if the signs are recognized early. Still, skin color isn't the only surface-level clue, because sometimes it's not the skin itself, but what's happening on your fingernails that reveals the most. And what your nails may be showing right now could be the most overlooked clue of all. Sign 4, nail changes that reveal what your blood can't say. You may glance at your nails a dozen times a day without a second thought, trimming them, cleaning them, painting them. But what if those tiny surfaces were actually windows into your kidney health? One of the most silent and overlooked symptoms of kidney dysfunction shows up in the nails. These changes are subtle, but powerful. They tell a story of what's happening deep inside your body. And for some, they're the first clue that something is going terribly wrong. The most recognizable change is called half-and-half nails, also known as Lindsay's nails. The bottom half of the nail closer to the fingertip turns reddish or brown. The top half near the cuticle fades into a cloudy white. The line between them is sharp, distinct, and unsettling. This is not from trauma, not from nail polish. It's a vascular reaction caused by toxin buildup and anemia in kidney disease. Then there are Mirka's lines, horizontal white bands that stretch across the nails, often a result of low protein levels or hypoalbuminemia. Another marker of declining kidney function. These lines don't move as the nail grows. They stay right where they are, like frozen warnings. The science is clear. When kidneys fail, your blood chemistry becomes imbalanced. Essential proteins drop, hormones misfire, red blood cell production falls, and your nails record it all. These signs can appear months before other symptoms show up, but most people, even doctors, may overlook them unless they know exactly what to look for. The good news: These changes are not permanent if caught early. Improving nutrition, treating anemia, and managing protein intake under medical guidance can often reverse these nail abnormalities. But timing is everything, because if these clues are ignored, what comes next can't be hidden at all. It swells, it stretches, it makes itself known in ways that affect your entire appearance, and that next sign, it shows up in your face, your legs, your hands, and it may be the clearest sign your kidneys are struggling to survive. Sign 5, swelling that distorts the body and disguises the danger. At first, while it might seem harmless, a little puffiness around the ankles after a long day, a ring that suddenly feels tight, or eyelids that look a bit swollen in the morning. But slowly, almost quietly, the swelling spreads. It becomes harder to slip on your shoes. Your hands feel stiff. Your face looks different. And what you're really seeing is fluid that your kidneys can no longer remove. This is called edema. And in kidney disease, it's one of the most visible and undeniable warning signs. When the kidneys fail to regulate sodium and water, excess fluid begins to leak out of the blood vessels and pool in the tissues. It stretches the skin, makes it shiny, and leaves deep impressions when pressed, a phenomenon known as pitting edema. It usually begins in the feet, ankles, and lower legs, but as it worsens, it can affect the hands, arms, and face. Morning puffiness around the eyes is especially telling. It's not just lack of sleep, it's often a red flag for nephrotic syndrome, a serious kidney condition that causes the body to lose massive amounts of protein through urine. That loss lowers the blood's ability to hold water, pushing it into surrounding tissues like a sponge, and the consequences go far beyond appearance. Severe edema can lead to shortness of breath, chest discomfort, and strain on the heart, increasing the risk of cardiovascular complications. It's a chain reaction that can escalate quickly if not addressed. So what's the solution? For many, it starts with limiting sodium, adjusting fluid intake, and working with a nephrologist to evaluate kidney function and protein loss. Diuretics may help, but they must be used carefully. The real key is treating the root cause, not just the symptom. But while swelling is hard to ignore, the next sign is sneaky. It hides in plain sight. It mimics allergies. It feels like a rash, but it's really something much more serious. And if you've noticed strange bumps or patches on your skin, the truth behind them might surprise you. Sign 6, rashes that itch, burn, and refuse to go away. A few bumps on your arms, a red patch on your back, maybe even a spot that feels hot, itchy, or oddly tender. Most people think it's an allergic reaction, maybe a change in laundry detergent, a new soap. But what if it's not? What if that rash is your body's way of screaming that your kidneys are in trouble? This kind of rash isn't about irritation from outside. It's driven by toxic waste building up inside your blood. When your kidneys stop filtering properly, emergenc toxins rise to dangerous levels. These toxins don't just float around, they start attacking your skin. The result, emergenc rashes, small, dome-shaped bumps that are incredibly itchy, painful, and stubborn. They appear anywhere: your arms, chest, legs, or back. They flare up, fade, then flare again. Sometimes they group together and form raised, rough patches that feel different from the rest of your skin. These rashes may not look severe at first, but they carry a deeper warning: your blood is overloaded with waste, and it's not just about appearance. These rashes can break open from constant scratching, leading to infection, especially in people whose immune systems are already weakened by kidney failure. That risk becomes even more dangerous for patients on dialysis, where healing is slower and complications can multiply fast. What can help? Start by getting a renal panel blood test to measure kidney function. If rashes are recurring, ask your doctor about elevated urea or creatinine levels. In many cases, improving dialysis quality, controlling phosphorus, and using prescription creams or antihistamines designed for renal patients can provide real relief. But never ignore a rash that doesn't go away. It's not just skin deep. And yet, as aggressive as these rashes can be, they're still not the most shocking skin symptom kidney disease can cause. Because in some cases, Your body starts pushing things out through your skin in ways that sound almost impossible. And once you understand what happens next, you'll never look at skin irritation the same way again. Sign 7, strange lumps and lesions, where the skin pushes out what the body can't hold. Imagine your skin starting to purge itself. Tiny bumps appear, then harden into painful little nodules. You scratch, and instead of relief, you notice something terrifying. The bump has a hard core, almost like a plug. Over time, the area darkens, scars form, and the cycle repeats, over and over. This isn't acne. This isn't eczema. This is your body trying to eliminate waste through your skin, and it's a condition linked directly to kidney failure. This condition is called acquired perforating dermatosis, or APD. It's rare, it's aggressive, and it's almost always connected to end-stage kidney disease. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface as uremic pruritus continues and scratching becomes constant. The skin experiences microtrauma. In kidney patients, collagen and elastic fibers in the skin begin to die and break down. And instead of being reabsorbed or healed, these fibers are pushed out through the top layer of the skin, creating a visible hole or crater-like lesion. Each lesion may have a small, central plug, sometimes mistaken for a blackhead, but when removed, it reveals a deeper wound caused by damaged skin structure. These spots are intensely itchy, painful, and they often become infected. You might see them along the back, arms, or thighs, often arranged in lines where scratching has occurred. Doctors call this pattern kubnerization, where trauma leads to more lesions. APD affects around 10% of dialysis patients, and it's more likely to appear after years of unmanaged itching or phosphate imbalance. And while the condition may fade over time, it often leaves behind permanent scarring and discoloration. But here's what you can do. Controlling the itching is step 1. That means proper phosphorus control, avoiding skin trauma, using prescribed topical treatments like corticosteroids or retinoids, and in some cases, phototherapy. If lesions appear, see a dermatologist immediately because these signs are not just cosmetic, they're internal warning sirens. Still, as dramatic as this sounds, some kidney-related skin symptoms are even more shocking. Because in rare but dangerous cases, your skin might start to blister and peel not from sunburn, but from something far worse. And if you've ever noticed strange blisters after being in the sun, the next sign will leave you stunned. Sign 8, blisters that appear without warning and leave behind. Lasting damage. You step into the sun for just a few minutes. Later that day, your skin erupts with fragile blisters. They crack, they weep, they crust over. Maybe they itch, maybe they burn, but what they definitely do is leave scars, and no one can figure out why it's happening. No new skincare products, no obvious allergy, just blistering skin that seems to have a mind of its own. What if those blisters were your kidneys trying to warn you in advanced kidney disease? A rare but powerful skin condition called porphyria cutanea. Tarda PCT can develop. It's caused by a buildup of natural chemicals in the body called porphyrins. These should be broken down and filtered out, but damaged kidneys can't keep up. The result, porphyrins react to sunlight, causing skin on exposed areas like the hands, forearms, and face to become fragile and blister easily. The blisters are often thin-walled, burst with light pressure, and heal slowly, often leaving dark spots. Milia tiny white bumps, or even excess facial hair behind. PCT is especially dangerous because it's easy to misdiagnose. Many patients go through months of guesswork steroids, antibiotics, ointments before anyone looks deeper. But the real solution lies in addressing the underlying cause: iron overload, liver dysfunction, and kidney failure. Sometimes the body has too much iron due to repeated transfusions or improper metabolism, a condition that's more common in dialysis patients. Combined with poor kidney clearance, it creates the perfect storm. Blisters can also appear from autoimmune diseases triggered by kidney dysfunction, such as linear IgA dermatosis. These blisters often form in clusters and may be mistaken for other skin conditions, but their origin is internal, the immune system attacking the skin. So what can be done? Treatments may include phlebotomy to reduce iron, medication to manage porphyrins, and strict sun protection. In autoimmune cases, doctors may use corticosteroids or immunosuppressive therapy. But the most important step is not ignoring unexplained blistering because the damage may not stop at the skin. But even this isn't the final form of kidney-related skin damage, because in the next sign, your body stops just reacting to toxins and starts hardening, scarring, and breaking down tissue from the inside out. And what causes that horrifying transformation might already be building up in your blood right now. Sign 9: calcium deposits that harden the skin and threaten the tissues beneath. You notice a strange lump near a joint. It doesn't hurt. It feels firm under the skin. You figure it's nothing, maybe a cyst, maybe a bump from bumping into something. But weeks go by, and the lump is still there. Then it spreads, becomes tender. The skin turns purple. It cracks. And suddenly, you're facing open wounds that just won't heal. This isn't just a skin issue. It's a life-threatening condition linked directly to kidney disease. These lumps may start off small, but in some patients with advanced kidney dysfunction, they evolve into a condition called calciphylaxis. It's rare, but when it appears, it's devastating. Calciphylaxis happens when calcium and phosphate levels become dangerously unbalanced. These minerals harden and begin to clog the small blood vessels in the fat and skin. Without blood flow, the skin and tissue begin to die. What starts as painless nodules can quickly turn into deep, necrotic ulcers, especially around the thighs, abdomen, or fingertips. The skin becomes woody, firm, discolored, and eventually breaks open, exposing underlying tissue to bacteria and infection. Healing is extremely slow, and in many cases, the ulcers never close without intensive care. The real danger: infection spreading through the bloodstream, leading to sepsis and even death. Studies show that calciphylaxis carries a mortality rate of over 50%, especially in patients undergoing dialysis. But there is hope. The key is early detection and aggressive management of calcium and phosphate levels. Doctors often prescribe sodium thiosulfate, non-calcium phosphate binders, and wound care protocols to stabilize the condition. Avoiding calcium-based supplements and working closely with a nephrologist is critical. Still, most people never even hear the word calciphylaxis until it's too late, which is why being aware and proactive could be the one thing that changes everything. But as dangerous as this is, there's one more sign that's even more shocking. It doesn't just form beneath the skin, it shows up on top of your skin as visible white crystals. And when it appears, it means your kidneys are moments away from total collapse. Sign 10: emergenc frost, the crystals on your skin that signal a medical emergency. It looks like frost, a powdery white dust on the forehead, arms, neck, even the chest. Some mistake it for dandruff. Others think it's just dry skin or leftover soap. But this isn't harmless. It's not a cosmetic issue. It's the clearest sign yet that your body is drowning in toxins. Because what you're seeing on the outside is urea, the same waste product your kidneys are supposed to remove, being pushed out through your skin. This chilling condition is called emergenc frost. And though rare in developed countries today, it remains a terrifying signal of advanced kidney failure. It happens when blood urea nitrogen BN levels skyrocket, usually above 200 DL, and the kidneys are no longer able to keep up. The body tries to compensate by excreting urea through sweat glands. As the sweat dries, urea crystallizes, leaving behind a white or yellowish dusting on the skin. It's most visible on the face, scalp, chest, and upper limbs, and is often accompanied by a strong ammonia-like odor. For patients who reach this stage, symptoms may also include extreme fatigue, confusion, nausea, and intense itching. At this point, the skin is no longer just warning you, it's screaming that the body is in crisis. Doctors consider emergenc frost a medical emergency. It's often seen just before urgent dialysis is required. Fortunately, modern medicine has reduced how often it appears, but it still shows up in patients who delay treatment or aren't aware of their kidney decline. What's the immediate action? Emergency dialysis is usually required to bring toxin levels down fast. Long-term, though, patients need a tailored renal care plan that includes regular lab monitoring, dialysis compliance, proper nutrition, and hydration strategies. But the most critical step, recognizing this sign as more than a curiosity, it's the body's last-ditch effort to survive. But before you go, there's something even more important than knowing these 10 signs. It's knowing what to do next. Because early detection is only powerful if it leads to action. You've just learned about 10 skin symptoms that could be silently warning you about kidney disease. From itching that won't stop to unexpected swelling or changes in skin color. These signs are not random. They are your body's way of asking for help. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. Every one of these symptoms is a signal that something can still be done. The earlier you notice, the sooner you act, the more control you have over your health starting today. If you or someone you love has been experiencing even just one of these signs, don't ignore it. Talk to a doctor. Ask for a kidney function test. Small changes like improving your diet, staying hydrated, managing blood pressure, and getting regular checkups can make a massive difference. You can take back control before it's too late. We care about your health. That's why we make videos like this to empower you with real knowledge and safe, science-backed solutions that support healthy aging. So if you found this video helpful, please save it for later and share it with a friend or family member who might need it. You never know who might be facing these symptoms quietly. And if you're serious about protecting your health after 60, you won't want to miss our next video where we reveal 5 foods that naturally support kidney function and reduce inflammation, including one surprising ingredient you probably already have in your kitchen. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join our growing community of seniors who believe that aging well is possible with the right information. We're here for you, and your best health journey starts right here. Subscribe now and save this video because your body may be speaking. And this time, you're finally ready to listen.